Wooden borders hold nothing but dust and air. A perfect rectangle of what used to be there. I dust it gently, like it still holds you, but the glass reflects only what I can undo. We chose this frame on a sunny afternoon, gold edges shining like our future felt brand new. You placed our picture inside with careful hands, said it would stay forever on this little stand. Now the photo's gone, but the frame remains, a hollow window to our faded names. I hang it on the wall where the light still falls, but nothing fills the space where our story stalls. I see you staring at the empty space, tracing out lines where our smiles used to grace. The backend's yellowed from the passing years, holding only echoes of what disappeared. Where the empty frame borders without the icons, holding everything we held in our hearts. The glass is clean, but the center's gone, a perfect outline of a love withdrawn. I still hang it proudly on the lonely wall, pretending it can hold us after all. The empty frame, the quiet keeper of our missing piece. I try to fill it with another smiling face, but every picture felt like a different place. The colors didn't match, the light felt wrong. Nothing fit the shape where we once belonged. The nails are rusty from holding on too long, the corners chipped like the ending of our song. Dusted daily like a ritual of pain, hoping one day you'll step back in again. The hook is steady but the weight is gone, a frame without a story feels all wrong. I run my fingers round the empty edge, searching for the warmth of our former pledge. Where the empty frame borders without the icons, holding everything we held in our hearts. The glass is clean, but the center's gone, a perfect outline of a love withdrawn. I still hang it proudly on the lonely wall, pretending it can hold us after all. The empty frame, the quiet keeper of our missing piece. Should I take it down and start something new? I can't, it's all that's left of me and you. Does the emptiness hurt you the way it hurts me? Every single day, it's all I see. We were the picture, perfect in its place, now just borders around an empty space. Will the empty frame, beautiful and bare, holding nothing but the ghost of what was there. I'll keep it hanging till the colors fade away, even if the memory starts to gray. Maybe someday we'll find the photo again, or maybe this is how our story ends. The empty frame, the last place where our love remains. Wooden borders hold nothing but dust and air. The empty frame, still waiting there. The light spins slowly on the rocky shore, guiding ships that I can't reach anymore. I stand on the cliff with the wind in my hair, watching hope grow smaller in the salty air. We built this beacon when the storms were wild, promised it would lead us safely through each trial. It's been cut through the fog and darkest night, now it feels so far, just a lonely guiding light. light. I climb the tower steps with shaking knees, polish the glass, but the brightness starts to freeze. The ocean roars below like it knows the truth, that our signal's fading from my youth. I see you standing there against the gray, a small silhouette slowly drifting away. The waves crash harder with every turn I make, pulling us further from the love we couldn't save. We're the distant lighthouse, shining through the storm, once close enough to keep each other warm. Now the beat grows weaker with every passing wave. I'm still calling out, but you're too far to say. The rocks are sharp beneath my tired feet, but I keep the light on for the love we can't delete. The distant lighthouse, fading slowly into the sea. I send my messages across the restless tide, bottles with letters that the current always hides. The fog rose thicker than it ever was, blurring every memory of what we had. Because I adjust the lens and try to aim it right, hoping one last flash will bring you back tonight. But the horizon stays empty, cold and wide, and the light inside me starts to die. The fuel is running low, the flame grows thin, I feed it every promise that I kept within. Yet the darkness laughs and swallows every spark, leaving me alone here in the endless dark. We're the distant lighthouse, shining through the storm, once close enough to keep each other warm. Now the beam grows weaker with every passing wave. I'm still calling out, but you're too far to say. The rocks are sharp beneath my tired feet, but I keep the light on for the love we can't delete. The distant lighthouse, fading slowly into the sea. Can you still see my light across the bay? Yes, but it's getting smaller every day. Should I let it die or fight until the end? I don't know, but the silence hurts, my friend. We were each other's harbor, safe and true. Now we're just signals lost between me and you. We're the distant lighthouse, barely holding on. Final warning for the ship's already gone. Keep it burning till my strength gives way, even if it only lights an empty bay. Maybe in another sea we'll find our shore, but tonight I'm shining here forevermore. Distant lighthouse, still calling for the one I can't ignore. The lights spin slowly on the rocky shore. The distant lighthouse, I can't reach you anymore. Waves pull me further from the shore we knew. No sail to guide me, no map to follow through. I drift in silence where the current's strong, still searching for the harbor where I belong. We built this boat with steady, hopeful hands, painted every board with our future plans, set it on the water under open skies, promised we'd sail together till the end of time. Now the ropes are loose and the oars have gone. I'm rowing with my hands, but I'm not moving on. The wood is creaking, taking in the sea. Every leak reminds me you're not here with me. I see a silhouette against the fading light, standing on the pier where we said goodbye. The wind is calling, but you stay behind while I'm carried further by the rising tide. We're the drifting boat, lost upon the sea, once steady and together now, broken and free. No anchor holds me, no lighthouse calls my name, just endless water washing away the blame. I still taste the salt from the tears we cried as the horizon blurs and our love subsides. The drifting boat, carrying only memories and pain. I left Atlanta swinging on the empty mast, hoping it might lead you if you looked at last. The deck is scattered with the things we shared, letters soaked and faded, no longer care. The compass spins wildly, no direction found. I call across the waves, but there's no sound, only seagulls circling what we used to be. Two lovers turned to wreckage on this endless sea. The storms come harder than they ever did before. I brace against the railing, begging for the shore, but every wave just pushes me further out into the unknown where there's no way about. We're the drifting boat, lost upon the sea, once steady and together now, broken and free. No anchor holds me, no lighthouse calls my name, just endless water washing away the blame. I still taste the salt from the tears we cried as the horizon blurs and our love subsides. The drifting boat, carrying only memories and pain. If I swim back, would you pull me in? The tide is stronger than the love we held within. Do you still watch the water from our old place every single night? But it's empty space. We were meant to sail, not drift apart. Two souls now floating with a broken heart. We're the drifting boat, slowly sinking low, still holding pieces of the life we used to know. I keep the lantern burning till the water wins, even if it only lights the end we're in. Maybe in another ocean we'll find calm again, but here I drift forever with the weight of what the drifting boat, the last remains of what we couldn't say. Waves pull me further from the shore we knew. The drifting boat still carrying you. Creaking slowly in the backyard, wind, an empty swing where our laughter used to spin. The ropes are frayed, but they still hold the shape of two hearts that once refused to escape. We pushed each other higher than the summer trees, felt like the whole world belonged to you and me. Now the seed is still covered in morning dew. I sit alone and push it just to feel something true. The chains sing a quiet, lonely song, reminding me exactly where I went wrong. Every back and forth cuts a little more into the place inside where you're not here anymore. I watch you from the window with the heavy chest, wanting to run out but knowing it's for the best. The motion slows until it almost stops, just like the future that we let collapse. We're the empty swing, swaying all alone, once full of life, now a quiet monotone. The wind keeps pushing what we left behind, but nobody's laughing, nobody's flying high. I still hear our voices carried on the breeze, two kids in love who never thought they'd leave the empty swing, still waiting for the weight of you and me. I tied a ribbon on the rope we used to hold, it flutters helplessly against the coming cold. The grass below is growing tall and wild, covering footprints of a carefree child. I come here at dusk when the sky turns perfect balance we had before the fall. Time has weathered the wood and dulled the shine, but it can't erase the memory etched in every line. I reach for the chain, but my hand falls through, grasping at the ghost of me and you. Where the empty swing, swaying all alone, once full of life, now a quiet monotone. The wind keeps pushing what we left behind, but nobody's laughing, nobody's flying high. I still hear our voices carried on the breeze, two kids in love who never thought they'd leave the empty swing, still waiting for the weight of you and me. Do you ever come back here when I'm not around? Only in my dreams where the swing still makes a sound. Can we ever feel that weightless joy again? I don't know, but the ache won't end. We flew so high that the ropes gave way. No way. Now only echoes in the place we used to play. Where the empty swing creaking through the air, holding almost every inch of dear. I'll leave it move until the daylight fades, carrying the rhythm of the love we made. Maybe someday we'll sit here side by side, but until then it sways with the pain we had. The empty swing, the last place where our hearts still collide, creaking slowly in the backyard wind. The empty swing where our story ends. Notes hang in the air, but nobody plays the melody we knew slowly drifts away. I hum the chorus, but it breaks in my throat, a song unfinished that we never wrote. We composed our days in minor keys and light. Your voice would lift me through the longest night. We harmonized our dreams without a score. Now the music's fading and I can't find the door. The piano sits quiet with dust on every key. I press them softly but they don't answer me. Every chord I try just echoes back alone. Our song is disappearing, turning into stone. I still catch fragments when the silence falls, tiny pieces of the tune that used to call. But the rhythm's broken, the timing's all wrong, and I'm left here singing where we don't belong. We're the forgotten melody lost between the lines, once beautiful and whole, now scattered through time. I search for the chorus in the quiet dark, but the music's gone and left its mark. No one else can hear the way we used to sing. The song of us is vanishing on broken wings. The forgotten melody still playing softly in my heart. I try to rewrite it on a brand new page, but the notes come out wrong and filled with rage. The bridge we crossed feels miles away, and every attempt just leads me back to yesterday. The radio plays songs that sound like ours, but they miss the magic, they miss the stars. I turn it off and let the silence win, wishing I could hear your voice again. The conductor's gone, the orchestra's asleep, our symphony reduced to something I can't keep. I conduct alone with invisible hands, but nothing brings the music back to where it stands. We're the forgotten melody lost between the lines, once beautiful and whole, now scattered but the music's gone and left its mark. No one else can hear the way we used to sing. This song of us is vanishing on broken wings. The forgotten melody still playing softly in my heart. Can we ever find the notes we left behind? I've looked, but they're buried deep inside. Does the song still hurt you late at night? Every single beat, it tears me open wide. We were perfect harmony, now just distant sound. Two voices fading when no one else is around. We're the forgotten melody, the one no one recalls. A quiet masterpiece that slid beyond the walls. I'll keep humming fragments till my breath runs dry, even if the world has said goodbye. Maybe in some other life the music plays again, but here I'm left with echoes and the pain. The forgotten melody, the sweetest song that ever caused me pain. Notes hang in the air, but nobody plays. The forgotten melody drifting away. One glove left behind in the pocket of my coat, the other gone somewhere I'll never know. Fingers still curled from the last time you held. Now it's just fabric growing cold. We bought them together on that freezing December day. Wool soft as your laugh when you tuck them away. You slip your hand in mine through the crowded street. Two matching pieces making the winter feel complete. Now I wear just one when the temperature drops. The empty side hangs like a question that never stops. I reach for you out of habit in the freezing air, but only wind fills the space that used to be there. I found the other one tucked in my old drawer, still carrying the scent of us from before. I hold it to my cheek, but the warmth is gone, just like the feeling when you moved on. With a long glove, missing its perfect pair. Once warm together, now lost in separate air. I search every pocket, every corner of my mind, but nothing fits the emptiness I find. The threads of frame where our hands used to meet. This love left unpaired on a one-way street. The lone glove, still reaching for the one it'll never see. I keep it folded neatly on my bedside stand, a quiet witness to the life we had planned. Sometimes I put it on just to feel less alone, but one hand warm, the other turning to stone. People pass me by with perfect pairs on their hands, while mine stays half empty like our faded plans. The colors fading, the shape is losing form, just like the future we couldn't keep warm. I try to buy a new one to match the old, but nothing feels the same, nothing feels whole. The fit is wrong, the texture isn't right, nothing replaces what we lost that night. Wear the long glove, missing its perfect pair. Once warm together, now lost in separate air. I search every pocket, every corner of my mind, but nothing fits the emptiness I find. The threads of frame where our hands used to meet. This love left unpaired on a one-way street. The lone glove, still reaching for the one it'll never see. Do you still keep the other somewhere safe? Yes, but it only brings an empty ache.
Can a single glove ever feel complete?
Not when the cold comes and there's no one to meet.
We were meant to be a pair through every storm.
Now we're just remnants, lonely and warm. We're the long glove, beautiful in our pain,
carrying the memory of how we once remained.
I keep it close though the winter never ends.
Even if the missing piece never comes again,
maybe someday we'll find where the other lies.
But until then I want this head with silent cries.
The long glove,
forever missing you by my side.
one glove left behind
in the pocket of my coat,
the long glove,
still reaching for you. String hangs loose from the branch up high.
colors once bright,
Now blending with the sky.
I tug it gently, but it won't come down.
Just flutters helpless
Above this empty town.
We ran through open fields with the wind at our backs, laughed as it climbed higher than our wildest dreams. You held the spool while I guided every turn.
Two kids believing nothing could make it burn. Now the tail is tangled in the highest leaves, twisting slowly with every passing breeze. I stand below and shield my eyes from the sun, watching pieces of us come slowly undone.
I see you reaching from the ground so far, a tiny figure under that lonely star.
The string is breaking thread by fragile thread, carrying our laughter where the living can't be led. We're the stranded kite caught where we can't fly, once dancing freely across the open sky. Now tangled high above the world we knew, colors fading in the grayish blue. I still feel the pull inside my chest, the ghost of freedom we couldn't keep possess. The stranded kite, forever hanging out of reach.
I bought new string, but the wind won't cooperate.
It blows the wrong direction, sealing our fate. The paper's torn where your fingers used to trace. Little hearts we drew, now lost without a trace. Children laugh below with kites that soar, while mine stays frozen like an open sore. I whisper upward like you might reply, but only silence answers from the sky. The sun keeps setting on that distant flame, painting everything in quiet shades of blame. I wanna cut it loose and let it fall, but something in me needs to feel it all. We're the stranded kite caught where we can't fly, once dancing freely across the open sky. Now tangled high above the world we knew, colors fading in the grayish blue. I still feel the pull inside my chest, the ghost of freedom we couldn't keep possess. The stranded kite, forever hanging out of reach. If the wind changed direction, would you come back down? I'm still here, but I don't know how.
Does it hurt you too, seeing it stuck so high?
Every single day I just wanna cry.
We flew so beautifully, then the string gave way.
Now we're both grounded in this quiet grave. We're the stranded kite, beautiful and lost, paying for the height that came at such a cost. I'll leave it hanging till the seasons change, even if the colors never look the same. Maybe someday a stronger wind will set it free, but until then reach up high, the stranded kite, where our dreams still lie.
Pages turning slower than they used to, ink drying up on the story we never finished.
I hold the book close, but the words feel new, like our ending was written before we knew. We left the bookmark halfway through the night, never reached the part where everything felt right. The plot was twisting, full of hope and fear, but the author walked away and left it here.
I read the margins where you scribbled dreams, little arrows pointing to impossible things.
Now the chapters have to feel hollow and thin, without your handwriting pulling me in. I try to write the next part on my own, but every sentence ends with you alone. The paper stays blank no matter how I try, 'cause the story only worked when you were by my side. We're the unfinished chapter left hanging in the air, a story cut short that no one else can repair. I keep flipping back to the pages we loved, but the future stays empty where you used to belong. Every word we share still echoes in my chest, a beautiful beginning with no final rest. The unfinished chapters where I'll always live. I found our old notes tucked between the lines, promises and pencils slowly losing their shine. The plot twist came when I least expected. You became a character I couldn't keep protected. I tried to rewrite the scene where you walked out, but the eraser only smudged what we were about. Now the binding's cracking and the spine feels weak. This book of us is all I have left to speak. The library of memories is quiet tonight, shelves full of moments that lost their light. I open the cover and your scent still remains, but the story doesn't move, it's stuck in the pain. We're the unfinished chapter left hanging in the air, a story cut short that no one else can repair. I keep flipping back to the pages we loved, but the future stays empty where you used to belong. Everywhere we share still echoes in my chest, a beautiful beginning with no final rest. The unfinished chapter is where I'll always live. Should I close the book and start something new? I've tried, but every page still leads to you. Does the ending hurt you the way it hurts me? Not knowing that won't set me free. We were supposed to write forever side by side. Now the ink is run dry and the story is died. We're the unfinished chapter, forever incomplete, the most honest story that I'll never delete. I'll keep you in the prologue, safe inside my mind, even if the rest of the world leaves us behind. Some tales don't get closure, they just fade away, but I'll hold these broken pages every single day. The unfinished chapter, our love that never reached the end. Pages turning slower than they used to, the unfinished chapter still waiting